You're watching Virginia This Morning.
Welcome back to the show. Banana pudding is definitely a fan favorite, and when you create a cupcake that's in that flavor, it's a home run. Local baker JeaketaManga is back. She's here for the first time, actually, ready to walk us through the steps on creating her yummy creation. We welcome her to Virginia this morning. It's definitely a Monday, yes. Don't you think?
I agree.
We need a little cupcake magic today.
Well, I always got that, but thank you for having me this morning.
It is our pleasure. You know, banana pudding is like a terrific favorite, comfort food dessert. Yes. How did you decide to put it into the cupcake form?
Banana pudding is one of my favorite desserts of all time. My grandmother used to make it from scratch with the custard that she put on the stove and that kind of thing. And so I said, why not make it into a cupcake? I always think every dessert that I love, I want to try putting it into a cupcake so that I can make it for other people.
I like the way you think.
Yes, I love sweets.
Well, you're going to show us the steps to putting this one together.
Absolutely. So I already have 3/4 of a cup of sugar and 6 tablespoons of butter inside of the mixer. I'm just going to cream them together until they're really fluffy and smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. I'll do that fast so we can get that part done.
That mixer is so beautiful. It would be like jewelry in the kitchen, right?
My favorite.
I know, that's pretty. You need kind of a powerhouse to go in and do your stuff, but this is just going to cream together. And this is not one of those steps that you can overdo, or can you?
Not necessarily. What I've learned is if I let it go a little bit longer, it turns into like a dough. And then if it goes a little bit longer, I just sit here until it starts really looking soft, and I can't even think of a word to say, but
it's kind of fluffy, but you can tell it all came together.
Yes, and when it starts to stick to the sides a little bit, you know that it's time to go ahead and start adding your wet ingredients.
Okay.
And so I'll go ahead and get started with that. For our wet ingredients today, I have 1 egg and 1 egg white. And so I'm going to add those in one at a time. I'm going to add the egg white first, and you just let that go. Oops,
that one tried to jump ship there, didn't it?
And once that gets incorporated into the butter and the sugar, you're going to go ahead and add 1 whole egg.
And why is it so important, really, to do those kind of one at a time, let them come in, let them come together? Do you rush the gate if you put everything in all at once?
Yes, and you run the risk of things not being incorporated. So you want to make sure that you take your time and allow each thing to go in by itself. So these are already fully incorporated. This is amazing. This is one of the most just flavorful vanillas I've ever tasted. It is give me 1 second, Nielsen Massey Madagascar vanilla. And I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of this in here. This is what really makes the cupcake and the custard. I pre-made the custard so that it has to set up overnight. But I use that in the custard, and it is so amazing. So
I was all ears when you just said that was a super secret ingredient. I'm like, what is it? What is it? And I'm excited to say I actually have that kind at home. It's just by chance, but it is delicious. I put it in pancakes.
So now I'm going to add in some bananas. Now they're ripe just enough. I call it overripe, but about 1.5 cups of banana.
These are those bananas that are sitting on the counter that, the fruit flies have started to come to. No, not quite that bad.
You do want them to be pretty ripe. They taste better that way. The sweetness comes out. And while we're letting this all cream together, I'm going to go ahead and put my dry ingredients together, which would be 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder to 1.25 cups of flour. So I'm going to add that in, and then also 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Salt.
And I'm just going to whisk these 3 together, excuse me. All right, and I'm going to slow that down.
And it's nice to have those a little pre-blended like that so that you aren't having to do so much mixing when you put it in.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put the flour. I'm going to stop this because we're going to have flour all over us if I don't stop it. I'm going to put the flour in 3 parts and the milk in 2 parts. So I'm going to start with the flour first and let that fully incorporate.
It's science in the kitchen.
Yes. Baking is definitely a science, and you have to make sure that the measurements are exact. Like with cooking, when I started baking, I was like, oh no, maybe I can add a dash of this or a dash of that. You cannot do that. With cooking, you can, but with baking, you cannot do that. It is definitely, like you said, science. Didn't like science in school, though.
Little did you know, you loved it later on in life.
No. This kind of science is always cool. Okay, and this is my second part of the flour. I've already added half of the milk, or a little bit more than half. So I'm just allowing the flour to incorporate into the mixture and just let it get.
And it's a little gentler mixing right now, lower speed.
Yes, because I don't want to overmix. If you overmix, then your batter is no good.
So once all that comes together, then do we have to let it rest? Do we need to do anything, or can you go right into cupcake cups?
I actually go ahead and put it right into the cupcake cups, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm just going to let that mix real quick, and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, we can leave that there. Okay, so after this is done, then I use my favorite thing in the world, which is an ice cream scoop.
This is a secret tool for chefs, isn't it?
Yes, I love it, and it has a spring, so it helps to
scoop it on out of there.
Scoop it out of there, make sure everything gets in there.
We have about a minute left.
Okay, once everything is done.
Oh, don't hide the secret tool, Jessica.
All right, so when they're done, they come out, I'm sorry, looking just like that.
Out of the magic oven.
And I'm gonna go a little bit faster. Take one of these out. And then, these are already cooled, so we're gonna do...
The magic oven cooks quickly and immediately cools them and makes them ready for icing.
And when you're, so I actually put in the, the custard inside. There are 3 different ways you can do this. You can use a cupcake core, you can use a knife, or you can use an apple core. I like my knife, so I'm gonna try that. And you're just making a small circle.
So you've made a custard that we're gonna squirt in there?
Absolutely.
Oh.
All right, and I'm just gonna put that right there.
Look at her go.
And here's the custard.
Do we have to put that back? Oh, I was gonna eat it.
You
put
can
that
absolutely
back, don't you?
eat that.
No?
No, you don't put it back, you eat it. Okay, and here's the custard. It's a homemade custard, and I actually put the vanilla wafer pieces inside of this custard.
Of course you do.
Because when you make banana pudding, you're layering it.
Okay.
And see, we're gonna put that on there.
So producer's telling me it's a wrap, and you've almost done all the magic. And then you just have to put on the, what kind of icing do you use?
Icing is whipped cream.
Oh, of course. Yum, and that's it.
And there you have your banana pudding cupcake.
Delicious. You have such a wonderful story about getting started, and these are delicious. No wonder everybody's calling. Thanks so much for being with us.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
It is our pleasure. Banana pudding cupcakes. JeaketaManga is part of the lineup for the Revamp Mommy event. It's coming up August 20th. The conference will be held on the campus of Virginia Union University. CBS 6's Reba Hollingsworth will also be part of the conference that gives mothers the chance to recharge, renew, and be refreshed in the areas of faith, family, fashion, and fitness. For all the information, we'll post a link on our website later today at WTVR.com/VTM. And I definitely think with all that inspiration, with a side of banana pudding cupcake, it's going to be a perfect day to refresh and revamp and renew. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.